Well, Mumbai votes today in a high-stakes battle for the country's richest civic body. The control of the country's richest civic body. Imagine that. The contest has turned into a fierce Mumbai mukabla with the Shinde-Fadnavis Mahayuti on one side and the Thackeray camp and its allies on the other. Over 1,700 candidates entered the poll fray, and around 13,000 polling officers and an equal number of security personnel have been deployed to ensure a smooth and peaceful voting process across the city. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has accused the Thackerays, meanwhile, of appeasement politics, claiming they did nothing for Mumbai in 30 years and cannot mislead the Marathi Manus anymore. Uddhav Thackeray has hit back, framing this as a survival fight for Mumbai's identity. He alleges the Mahayuti has looted Mumbai for personal gains and charges that the BJP wants to hand Mumbai over to Gujarat. Raj Thackeray has gone a step further, warning that the Marathi Manus are in danger under the Mahayuti, calling the BJP a party of outsiders and accusing the ruling alliance of planning to displace Mumbaikars.
लोकशाही प्रजातांत्रिक रचना में रचना का एक अनिवार्य भाग चुनाव है और इसलिए वो नागरिकों का कर्तव्य भी है। तो संतुलित विचार करके, जनहित का विचार करके योग्य लगता है उस उम्मीदवार को मत देना, वोट देना, ये अपना कर्तव्य रहता है। उस दिन का वो पहला कर्तव्य होता है, इसलिए मैंने पहले आके नंबर लगाया।
कि गणपति पापा का आशीर्वाद लेके अब मतदान होगा। मेरी विनंती है हर एक मुंबईकर को पहले मतदान फिर जलपान। ये बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है मुंबई की प्रगति के लिए कि आप बाहर आएँ, आपका मत दें, क्योंकि प्रजातंत्र लोकतंत्र की एक खूबी है। जब आप वोट करते हैं तब आप सवाल प्रश्न चिन्ह उठा सकते हैं। जो आप वोट ही नहीं करें तो आप एक सिर्फ साइलेंट स्पेक्टेटर रहेंगे।
तो मैं यही कहूँगा, सारे मुंबई वालों को कहूँगा, आके वोट जरूर करें। रादर कि हम कंप्लेन करते हैं कि पानी नहीं आ रहा, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं आ रहा, रोड ठीक नहीं है, कचरा है, ये है वो है। इट्स नाउ आवर टर्न, हम सबको आना चाहिए और हो सके सारे के सारे आने चाहिए ताकि हम वोटिंग करके सही मतदान, सही बंदा चुन सकें। सो दैट इज़ इट। अगर और साथ में यही कहूँगा कि अगर मुंबईकर का असली हीरो बनना है तो डायलॉग बाजी नहीं, आके सीधे वोटिंग करें।
And our team is tracking all the finer developments and the latest updates for you on Ground Zero. We have Saurabh Gupta, Saurabh Bhaktania, Anuj Raite and Abhishek Avasthi joining us with all the details and all the action this morning. Saurabh, to you first. You're in Bandra, I'm given to understand. Among voters, is identity politics still the primary driver or are civic delivery issues taking precedence? What is the turnout like so far? It's only 8:07 this morning.
Well, we have seen a decent turnout at the booth, and of course, I'm very close to the booth where Uddhav Thackeray and his family are going to vote a little later in the morning, perhaps. But what we know is that the answer to your question depends on who you're speaking to. Now, there are pockets where the identity politics takes center stage, but there are places where people say that, look, this is an election about clean air, water, good roads, parks, amenities, civic amenities, all of that. So there are different points of view, but this election has seen one campaign where the identity politics has taken center stage, and that's something that we will see perhaps in the voter turnout as well. Remember, BMC elections, there has always been an issue with turnout, so obviously one hopes that the turnout will see Mumbai's voters actually choose the BMC to be run by people who address the issues they want to be addressed. There are lots of issues that Mumbai faces, and one hopes that the turnout is a reflection of the kind of concerns that the city has over its civic amenities.
Let's also get in an update from Saurabh Bhaktania, who's in Juhu at the moment. Saurabh, tell us, are middle class and upper middle class voters turning up, or does voter apathy seem to be quite evident? Does it continue in urban pockets in Mumbai?
Well, good morning. Let me show you the visuals right now outside from Juhu area, and behind me this is the Gandhi Section Bhavan. And in the morning we actually saw a lot of people. There were queue outside this particular polling station. But now, yes, slowly people are turning out. Most importantly, I am seeing more of the senior citizens who are coming over here. This is a very celebrity polling station. We saw Akshay Kumar who came right at 7:30 in the morning, and he clearly said, he appealed to the Mumbai that this is the time that you have to cast your vote. This is your very important thing which you have to cast your vote, because then you cannot complain about the bad roads, water is not coming, and all the civic apathy which is right now in Mumbai. So cast your vote, so you have the right to question the government who will be coming in power in BMC, and therefore he appealed to all Mumbaikars that they should come out and vote for the today's elections which are happening. And we have been seeing in the past as well that Mumbaikars don't come out to vote in huge numbers, and currently there is actually a serious concern because there is a long weekend and some of the people have taken off and they have went out. So appeal from us also that come out and vote, and because these are the very important BMC elections coming after so many years. It's almost 4 years delay, and finally this BMC elections are happening, and Mumbai is already facing so much of civic issue. So once you vote over here, your government comes to power in BMC, then you can definitely raise your voice to the civic apathies, to the road conditions, to the infrastructure and all the other problems.
Thus, he's been tracking the run-up to the BMC polls very closely too. Anuj, tell us, which issues are voters spontaneously raising? Is it potholes, flooding, transport? And which issues have been pushed by parties in the run-up to the crucial BMC polls?
All of them. In fact, not just our campaign or covering of the campaign leading up to the BMC election, but our regular covering even of the civic issues in Mumbai shows that people here are very much aware of what problem the city faces. Be it the obnoxious state that the city gets into during the monsoons, be it those three months of monsoon, and it doesn't stop there, because in the last 10 to 15 years, or especially in the last 5 years, we've seen that the AQI level has gone high by such a large or an alarming degree that now even that has become an electoral issue, probably for the first time in the history of BMC elections. So, while the narratives continue, and, one would be, very, very quick to judge on whether the narratives are right or not, because for people who probably get victimized by that, they probably can justify it. But overall, the fact that the ground issues also continue to hold up same amount of importance is something that we have to keep in mind. But you spoke to Saurabh about the turnout just a while back. An important thing for us to note is that in the BMC election, in the longest time, the overall voting turnout in the entirety of the city hasn't crossed the mark of 50 more than one time. For the majority of the time, it has been below 50%. And we've always had this notion that places in the country which are not very progressive, which are not very developed, these are the places where where voting does not happen to a large extent. Mumbai stands out as an exception to that, because the high-end places, the places which are considered to be very elite, these are the places where the voting turnout is very alarming. It's extremely low, especially in places like South Mumbai, places like Malabar Hill. There the voting turnout has been low since decades, and that surely is something that we'll have to keep in mind. And in this particular election, I am standing outside Matoshri, and this is one of the important power centers along with several others. And this power center has also played a very important role in spreading out or putting out narratives which people are talking about today, now be it about civic issues or about the larger identity issues. But the major problem is there is such huge amount of confusion in the minds of the Mumbaikars, be it because of the multiple parties that are there into the fray, or because of the meaning of the anti-incumbency. Because as far as the BJP is concerned, they consider the Shiv Sena government to be those who have ruined the city by completely refusing to understand the fact that they themselves were involved in the government for the 25 years when the Shiv Sena was ruling. And the same thing is done by the SS-MNS alliance as well. So all of these factors will play a role, when the voter here in Mumbai will walk close to that EVM machine to cast his or her vote. Important for us to note is that there will be a hope for there to be a larger turnout, because at least that would mean that the level of democracy or the level of trust that people have in voting their own people back is much higher than what it was earlier.
Sincerely hope so. In fact, Abhishek Awasthi is also with us live from Dadar this morning. Abhishek, it's only 8:15 this morning, but are traditional Sena pockets voting early and in significant numbers, or is there visible fatigue after 4 years without an elected BMC?
Definitely, the visual I will show you out here, right outside. You can see the crowd here, and where we are reporting from is Dadar. Dadar is known to be the stronghold of Thackeray brothers, and this is the turnout. You can see huge amount of crowd right outside the polling booth, and definitely senior citizens are leading and giving a larger message to all Mumbaikars who are watching us right now. And Mumbaikars have always disappointed. You know, one important point that I want to raise over here is, when we take up any civic issues and reach out to them, they, talk about various issues on our cameras. But this is the time, Mumbaikars, to come out in large number and do not disappoint today and vote for the people and vote for what you want. Definitely, civic issues are very much important. We have covered those flood-like situations in Mumbai, those infrastructure messes, and at that time they complain but they don't come out to vote. And I'm telling this on the statistics which we have. 50% let voting, you can compare the history. So that's just an important point, and people should come out, and definitely a narrative, a larger narrative, an important narrative, that is something which is more important here. Civic issues have been to be focused and very much important on this election. But you can understand how the Marathi Asmita has been brought up. So definitely, will the Mumbaikar vote for that or focus on the civic issue, something that needs to be decided by them, but they should come out and vote in large number and definitely break their record of the low turnout. And today is the day for them, it's the day for Mumbaikars to come out and vote. Back to you.
Thanks so much. Well, we'll continue to track all the latest updates and the finer developments with you, gentlemen. For now, let's turn our attention to the X factor as far as this crucial contest in Mumbai is concerned, beginning with the big reunion. You see, this election has delivered a political image few thought was actually possible, with Uddhav and Raj Thackeray on the same side. For years, the Thackeray surname itself was split, but today the cousins are asking a simple question of voters. Should Mumbai return to the family that ruled it for 26 years? But many are skeptical as well, because they question, is this reunion translating into votes on the ground, or is it symbolic optics without booth-level chemistry? Which brings us to Marathi pride and identity. This pitch is unmistakable. Marathi Manus in danger, Mumbai being taken away, outsiders versus locals. This narrative has historically shaped Mumbai politics, many would argue. But the question is, does it still carry the same weight in a city that is younger, a city that's more migrant-driven and more economically aspirational than ever before? Are voters actually choosing identity, or are they asking for delivery? Which brings us to development. The BJP Shinde camp is pushing a counter-narrative, performance over pedigree. So big-ticket infrastructure projects, alignment with the state and centre, the promise that Mumbai can finally move faster if politics doesn't pull in opposite directions. But that then raises a sharp question. If development is the claim, why are flooding, potholes and public transport still electoral issues year after year? Why is it a tragic déjà vu? And the triple engine power for Mumbai. This is actually the BJP's strongest institutional argument. Same party at the centre, same alliance in Maharashtra, and if they win the BMC, no excuses, no blame games. But voters are also asking, does triple engine power mean faster governance? Does it actually translate into faster governance or tighter political control over India's financial capital? And also there's the question of the illegals that's come up. It is a politically sensitive issue, but one repeatedly invoked during this entire campaign. You see, from encroachments to undocumented settlements, this narrative has been sharpened, but with few specifics if you look closely. So is this an administrative problem being addressed? Is it an emotional issue being amplified just during elections? We need to be looking at this with a fine-tooth comb. But that distinction may quietly shape voter choices. By the way, before Mumbai votes again, just rewind to 2017, because that result explains why today's contest is actually so tense. Just take a look at the number on your screens. Shiv Sena at 85, this is back in 2017. The BJP at 82, the NCP 9 MNS 7 and others were 14. A difference of just 3 seats between the Shiv Sena and the BJP. But today, this is no longer a two-party race. This is Mumbai's most fragmented civic election in decades. We've got some crucial political reactions lined up for you. Listen in.
आज हमने सिद्धिविनायक महाराज की चरणों में प्रार्थना की है कि आने वाले समय में विकसित मुंबई, सुरक्षित मुंबई निर्माण करने के लिए हमें शक्ति दे, हमें आशीर्वाद दे। और आज का ये दिन, ये मुंबई के इतिहास में एक ऐतिहासिक दिन ऐसा इसमें लिखा जाए। और मैं तमाम मुंबईकरों से यह आह्वान करना चाहता हूं कि आप विकसित मुंबई, सुरक्षित मुंबई और अपने आने वाली भविष्य की पीढ़ियों के रक्षण के लिए भारी मात्रा में वोट दें। भारतीय जनता पार्टी, शिवसेना और आरपीआई युति को भारी आशीर्वाद दे ताकि आने वाले समय में एक विकसित और सुरक्षित मुंबई का निर्माण हम कर सकें।
It's a great privilege to have the opportunity to vote, and I would encourage and request everyone to exercise their franchise and come and vote in large numbers.
How important local issues are for the Mumbai?
Extremely important, very, very important, and I'm very glad that we are having a BMC election and looking forward to the new administration. Thank you.
सबसे महत्वपूर्ण चुनाव है मुंबई महानगर पालिका का, मुंबई शहर के विकास का, मुंबई के सेवा सुविधाओं का, 40,000 करोड़ से भी ज्यादा बजट का, और इसमें अपने मुंबई को विकसित मुंबई बनाने का है। मैं मतदाताओं से निवेदन करूंगा, भारी संख्या में आइए। आपके पास ये मौका है कि भ्रष्ट कार्यक्षम कारोबार करने वाले ठाकरे और ठाकरे की पार्टी को सबक सिखाने का, और उसमें मुंबईकर बढ़ चढ़ के हमारा साथ देंगे। और मुंबई वासियों ने तय किया है देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी, एकनाथ शिंदे जी के नेतृत्व में विकसित महाराष्ट्र का काम करने वाली सरकार को वोट करेंगे।
आज महाराष्ट्र में नगर निगमों का चुनाव है और उसमें मैंने मॉर्निंग वॉक के साथ ही वोट करके आया हूं। तो ये हर नागरिक का पहला कर्तव्य है और इसलिए तुरंत आकर अपने पसंदीदा उम्मीदवार को देना चाहिए। मैं हमेशा ही हम मोदी और फडणवीस, ये डबल इंजन सरकार जो है, इसी को लिए हम काम करते हैं।
ये संविधान ने दिए हुए अधिकार का उपयोग हर नागरिक ने करना चाहिए। वो अपनी मर्जी के अनुसार जहां डालना है वहां मत डालेगा, लेकिन जो चुन कर आएंगे उनका ये कर्तव्य बनता है कि लोगों की आकांक्षाओं की पूर्ति करें।
Saurabh Gupta, Saurabh Bhaktania, Anuj Raite and Abhishek Awasthi are tracking all the latest developments for us. They join us live with all the action that's unfolding in Mumbai. Saurabh, after 4 years of administrative rule, what is the sense that you're picking up on? Is there anger on the ground? Is there apathy? Take us through the sentiment this morning.
Well, these 4 years of not having an elected body in the BMC has eroded accountability, and that's something that we've seen across the board. People have articulated that there is no corporator means there is no one to go to when there is a problem, and that's something that needs to be fixed with elections, accountability for civic issues, basic issues. That's one. Secondly, you were mentioning of what issues this election has been fought on, and depending on which group you speak to, it is very clear that identity politics does hold in Mumbai even today. There is a concern amongst the Marathi-speaking population, amongst the Marathi population. There is also the BJP's counter-narrative that the Thakres are not the only representatives of the Marathi population. So there is this battle over identity politics and who represents the largest bloc in this voting, in terms of voting percentage. That's one. The second part is, of course, the BJP's narrative of development and the fact that, they say that they have things that they've done to showcase how Mumbai can be transformed, including massive mega infrastructure projects like the metro and other connectivity projects in the MMR region. They say Mumbai has to grow exponentially, not incrementally, and that's something that the BJP promises voters. And so it is a mix of both identity politics and politics of development.
On the ground, what are voters saying? Does triple engine power sound reassuring or politically overbearing at this stage? Anuj, am I audible to you?
Well, I mean,
Yes, I'm sorry, can you please repeat?
Sorry, my question was, on the ground, what is the sense that you're picking up on? Does the triple engine power debate, does it sound reassuring or politically overbearing at this stage?
As far as the debate over triple engine is concerned, the only reference they have were the promises made under the double engine government when the Vidhan Sabha election campaign were going on in 2024 election. Even then, we saw the BJP-led Mahayuti promise a number of things to people in Maharashtra, especially those to the farmers, to the women, be it an increment in the Maji Laidki Bahin Yojana installment or a farm loan waiver for the farmers. And the guarantee for those schemes or those policies to be fulfilled was the fact that there is the same government in center and the state. And surprisingly to people, even after they voted the Bharatiya Janata Party and Mahayuti in power back again with huge and unprecedented amount of numbers, those promises never got fulfilled. So, when we go on ground and when we speak to people, of course, as Saurabh was talking about, identity is an issue. Civic issues or civic problems are surely the electoral issues. But the narrative about the triple engine government, and if it really brings up about any sort of flexibility when work is involved, well, we couldn't see a lot of promise in this particular point being sold. So I would definitely say that on the basis of our reportage, at least, there is some sort of an overbearing image that we see of this particular thing. But the campaigning from the Mahayuti side has been very specific, that the projects that have happened in the in the MMR region, in the Mumbai region, the last 3.5 or 4 years, be it the development of the metro, be it the development of the coastal roads, or several other infrastructure projects as well. The development of those projects means that the triple engine or the double engine government has been successful. But a counter narrative to that is also a very solid one. It states that, does this show that the federal structure of the country is weak, is what the opposition is also stating. Because the fact that the ruling government or the ruling party is going out in public and saying that you should make sure that there is the same government in place in your city, in your state and in your country, which means your work will get done. Is this not a clear disrespect to the fact that the state or the country has a federal system where even if there is different forms of government at state or at center, the work ought to be done if the policy is sound? And that is the counter narrative that has been pushed against the triple engine formula that has been put in place by the Bharatiya Janata Party led Mahayuti alliance.
Saurabh Vakhtania, as we've heard, both Anuj and Saurabh have highlighted that identity politics cannot be ignored. You're in Juhu at the moment. Are Marathi voters treating this as a cultural battle? So far, what have you been able to assess? Or are they asking tougher governance questions?
Well, let me tell you that things have changed pretty fast in the last couple of days, or for the last 4 to 5 days. The things were pretty much different when the elections were announced. Let me tell you, both Thackeray brothers, what the experts were clearly saying, that they announced their alliance very late. Then the manifesto came in. The manifesto was announced by both of the brothers, that is the Aditya Thackeray and Raj Thackeray. Later on, the manifesto of BJP, the Mahayuti alliance, basically came very late. The most turning thing which I see right now is the Shivaji Park rally of both Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray. That was a game changer, and wherein the narrative was set for the local Marathi people that there is a significant approach by the BJP alliance over here to remove Mumbai from Maharashtra and take to Gujarat. There was also a narrative which was set by them, clearly saying that if right now they don't vote for the brand Thackeray, there will be no one to raise the voice of Marathi people over here. Let me tell you how this particular narrative has changed. You see, earlier in like around 15 to 20 years back, the Marathi voter base was around 45% to 50%. Now currently the voter has decreased to around 30 to 35%. So there's a significant decrease in the vote share of the Marathi speaking people. They are dominant in around 140 to 144 seats in Mumbai. So somewhere down down the line, there are certain people still feel that if right now it is time that the Marathi Asmita has to be saved, and that is what the Thackeray brothers, the union of Shiv Sena, UBT and MNS is banking on. Whereas when we speak about the BJP-led alliance, they clearly are on the development issues. We also see that how the big faces of BJP did not come to campaign over here. It was a clear message given that it is the local body election. There will be a triple engine government over here, but yes, the local issues will be very important. They clearly raised the issues of redevelopment projects in Mumbai, which have been stalled for over 15 to 20 years. They clearly said that we will not let the Marathi-speaking people out of Mumbai, because right now, if you see in the several pockets of Parel, Lalbagh, Huarli, Dadar or Shivaji Park, on those areas, we clearly saw that how Marathi people are going out of Mumbai, and that's where this redevelopment projects are coming in, and they are saying that these are the projects will make sure that Marathi people don't have to leave Mumbai, and this is how the Marathi politics right now is being playing on here. Right now, we are outside this particular Gandhiban. I'd like to show you the visuals once again. Early morning, we clearly saw that there were people, but right now, there are very less people over here. This is the celebrity polling center. Akshay Kumar had come over here right at 7:30 in the morning. He clearly gave a message that this is the time that people has to come out and vote, because BMC elections are very important. Remember, the corporators are the one who picks up your local issues.
Absolutely.
For over 4 years, we haven't seen the corporators in action because no elections were happening.
On that note, I'm just going to rope in Abhishek as well. Abhishek, are voters conscious that they are deciding control over a 70,000 crore civic body, or does that number mean little on the street?
No, definitely, this has already been the trend if you analyze past BMC election, and also the voter turnout has not been as much as expected, but today we will have to wait because elections are happening after almost 4 years, and which is an important issue. And definitely these are municipal corporation election, Mumbai Municipal Corporation. The civic issues are more prominent and it should be more dominant, but we have seen the campaign that has been spun around, wherein the political identity has been put in place. Now that's where the people who are coming out to vote definitely are making a choice on development pitch, but at one given point of time, certain pockets in the city of Mumbai where Thackeray's are dominant, or we have, like how Saurabh pointed out, that there are certain around 130 plus seats where the Marathi voters are dominant. So definitely, also there are certain emotional appeals in the past rallies by Thackeray brothers that, this is the last chance, fight of existence and all that, So definitely that cannot be ignored. And politics is all around perception. So definitely a voter who comes to vote for a civic election has a development issue in the mind, but the pitch that is being turned around by Thackeray brothers cannot be ignored. Finally, he will come and outvote for the political identity or the identity politics. That is something which is being pushed in aggressively by Thackeray brothers. So
we have witnessed, yes.
It's the voters' day.
We'll continue to track all the action with you, gentlemen. As always, thank you so much for taking us through a glimpse of the atmosphere at the moment prevailing in Mumbai.